Welcome back to Trash Panda Off-Road. This week's episode, we're going to try and modify a Suzuki Sidekick power steering bracket and see if we can get it to work on this Samurai. I've got a lot of Suzuki stuff, and one of the things is a power steering bracket. I think I have a video already talking about this stuff that we picked up. But anyways, here's what happens when you put the power steering bracket on a Samurai engine. Well, this pulley doesn't matter, but the other pulley behind it does hit that piece. And more importantly, where the where the pump comes out, that piece right there is hitting the frame. So what I'm going to do is unhook the pump and lift it up and try to build something off of the bottom bracket here, and then these two mounts here, figure out a way to mount it there and see if that'll work. This is the adjustment I'm thinking about. Just raising it up one like that, and then that clears everything, still keeps it in line. And what I'm thinking is, actually I gotta tilt it back a little bit. Right there, that's in line. What I'm thinking is building like a triangle piece that'll go to these two brackets and then to this hole, because those are lined up behind it just a smidge. So maybe a real thin piece of metal would work to fill that gap. I'm gonna go take a look in the shop and see what I got. So far I've just taken a pretty thick piece of metal. I don't know how thick that is, 1/4 inch, probably not quite. I've drilled the holes, marked where I think the holes are on the block, and then this is the hole that's in the actual bracket that we already have. So my thought is to open these up, drill this to the block, screw this to the block, bolt this to the block, and then run another bolt and nut through this one. That way it's still movable and I can get it locked in. And then once I get everything locked in to where the power steering pump goes and the belt doesn't get thrown off, then I'll make some marks and I'll actually weld it all together. Well, I got 2 out of the 3 holes, right? This is what I'm thinking. You see how it's built there? I got that plate. I'm gonna put 1 bolt and a nut right here, and then that one is bolted down to the bottom, and this hole here, it actually should be up there. I missed it by about 1/8 to 1/4 of an inch. So that's because I built it straight and it sits crooked. So I used a piece of cardboard and I didn't set it up as a square. I just went straight up and down. So now it's all messed up. But I think what I can do is just trace around the outside here and adjust that hole, and that'll give us a rough idea. Maybe we'll just call this draft number 1. Oh, there's my makeshift bracket, holding everything in. It doesn't look that straight, but we'll see. I think actually it needs to be back a little bit further. But for now, we're going to try to figure out how to get these lines hooked up, because that's like a hydraulic style line. So maybe if I take the stuff off the old pump, maybe I'll be able to get it to fit. Well, there it is. That's the best we could do on short notice. Just a plate with some bolts, bolted in. It ran. We were able to turn the front tire, so we're going to run with that. Going to Evans Creek in about 4 days. So that's the method we're going to try to use. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. Follow along Trash Panda Off-Road on the Instagram. You can see some more of this build and also see some highlights from the trip. Team, I just finished editing this video and realized I did not do a good job of explaining any of what I did. So let me go through it really quick once again. I took a 4" by 4.5" piece of plate right there. It's about 1/4 inch thick, and I bolted I cut 4 holes in it. So, no, I'm sorry, I cut 3 holes in it. So the bottom bolt down there is bolted into the top of the 2 lower bolt mounts on the side of the 1.3. This upper bolt is actually a through bolt with a nut on the back, so that you can adjust the pump and the bracket up and back and forth a little bit. And then these 2 bolts go into the 2 mounting pieces that are right there on the back of the engine. And so what that does is basically it lifts the pump up so that it clears the frame, and it still keeps everything in line, and it makes it so you can use the Suzuki Sidekick power steering pump and bracket on the Suzuki Samurai. Hopefully that gives a little better explanation of what I did. It's not great, and it's untested. Like I mentioned earlier, the previous owner decided to be a great idea to remove the axle shafts and then put the axles all back together and sell it to me. So I'm in the market for a set of Toyota front axle shafts, so that I can get this thing up on the trail and actually test the power steering setup that we made. I'm thinking it's actually going to be a little weak to turn these wheels, but it still would be a good design and practical application if you had a smaller set of wheels under it. But we'll just have to wait and see. Even if it's straight enough to not kick the belt off, I won't know until we actually get it up there on the hills and up to Brown's Camp or wherever to test it out. So hopefully that makes it a little more clear. If not, by all means, put your comments down below, ask me some questions, hit me up on Instagram at TrashPandaOffroad. I'm more than happy to put more pictures to you or do private conversations or whatever on Instagram. And hopefully this helps somebody and we can get it straightened out. Especially if you're going to run a smaller tire, I think it'll work a little better. But we'll have to wait and see. And if you have a set of axle shafts that you'd love to give me for free because I'm a handsome guy, that'd be awesome. If you want to sell them to me at a great price, that'd be awesome too. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video, and that's about it.